Here are 6 mistakes Deadlock Noobs always make. Mistake number 1, keep an eye on the map. One big mistake I see new players making is not knowing how important it is to look at the minimap for information on the enemy team. On the minimap, you can see player icons, both your teammates and enemies. Enemies will appear on the map anytime they are not inside the fog of war, where fighting troopers and friendly players in sight of guardians or walkers. So this information and keeping track of it can help you decide how you want to play in the moment. Example, if it's the start of a game and you're in a 1v1 lane, you look at your minimap and notice that your lane partner has shifted to another lane to help their teammate, making the lane fight a 2v1 in their favor. While this is a good strategy by them in the early game to pick off your teammate by outnumbering them and putting pressure on the lane's guardian, it doesn't mean you can't punish them for it. If you see your lane partner in a different lane, get aggressive on the enemy guardian, because you know where exactly the enemy hero is. It allows you to take some aggression while being less risky. Now, here's the thing. If you see them disappear off the minimap, this could mean they are coming back to contest you again, so be prepared. But as long as you see them on the map, you should be aggressive and try to take down the enemy guardian for free. But be careful though, because this doesn't mean a different enemy hero couldn't appear on your lane. So in general, try to keep a track of where your enemies are on the map. And if you see all 6 enemy player icons on the map, that means you are free to push your lane uncontested and punish them as much as possible by taking down their guardians or walkers. Mistake number 2. Farm jungles while you're pushing lanes. Most noobs think when you play a lane, you just simply stay in the lane and kill all the minions and kill all the heroes. But the next level players beyond noobs are thinking outside of the box. So if you find yourself behind on souls compared to your teammates, or maybe even the enemy hero, well, there may be a reason for that. Farming souls is probably the most important part of the game, as it dictates how powerful you are and how much of an impact that you'll have in fights. Majority of your souls will come from killing the enemy troopers while pushing toward the enemy base in any given lane. So make sure to shoot enemy soul orbs, which are orange, or your own soul orbs, which are blue, when needed to guarantee that you are getting as much souls as possible. When pushing a lane though and killing troopers for souls, you'll have plenty of downtime in between the waves, and you'll want to have as little downtime as possible, always getting souls in some way. Don't just sit there and do nothing. You may have noticed rooms with aliens in them in groups of 3 or sometimes 5. These are commonly referred to as jungles. These neutral enemies will give you souls if killed. So next time you're pushing a lane and killing troopers, duck into one of these rooms for your downtime and maximize your souls. Be as efficient as possible. Mistake number 3, melee your minions. As we're on the topic of souls, it is important to deny enemy souls as much as possible by shooting the floating orange orbs, as I mentioned earlier. A great way to guarantee that the enemy will not steal your souls is to melee the trooper when it is weak. This method of killing a trooper will not release a soul orb at all, and the souls will immediately be granted to you. If you have the opportunity to safely melee a trooper rather than shoot him, take it. Sometimes the enemy hero might just have faster reaction time than you to steal your souls. Mistake number 4, parry melee heavy heroes. The parry mechanic is definitely an underused mechanic in this game, not only by new players, but also by some experienced players. Parries will stun the player who meleeed, leaving them vulnerable, not being able to move or use abilities for a couple of seconds. Melees are such an important tool for many heroes in the game, and the counter to them are parries. Some heroes are more melee heavy than others, like Abrams or Lash, but these heroes will get up close and personal with you. If you know how to parry, you can counter them. Heavy melee attacks are a very distinct sound in Deadlock, and parries can be timed and executed with enough practice and awareness. So next time an enemy Abrams tries to rush at you, maybe think about trying to parry his next melee attack, or either get some distance from him to possibly kill him. Mistake number 5. Don't get greedy. This isn't Overwatch. You will not survive by yourself in the enemy base. Do you find yourself overextending, pushing up too far, getting destroyed by a team of 4, trying to destroy a shrine just to have the enemies come out of their base and melt you? Well, when respawn cooldowns begin to ramp up in the late game, your life is the most important thing in the game, because death will take you out of the game for about 60 plus seconds. Stay alive. Keep farming souls and protect your base. Do not get greedy. Tip number 6, Use custom builds. Deadlock has a great built-in feature that is the build system, allowing any players to search for and use other players' builds. This is especially important for newer players to learn the game. Buying the right items can change the way you perform in a game. We will be making more build videos so that you can dominate your game like we recently uncovered with the best in furnace build. To check it out, tap the video on screen now. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Deadlock content, and we always appreciate the support. Until the next time, we'll see you all later and enjoy playing Deadlock.